the intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
Hey Star Trek League of Men fans, welcome back to the channel where today I want to talk about a concept that for a long time was outdated, as in we didn't really do it anymore. It was something that when I first started the game almost 5 years ago, we used to do all the time. Auto grinding hostiles. And there was also an argument for a long time where this was like the one drawback to tri-faction lock, right? Because we always talk about, hey, if you're a new player, or even a veteran player, we recommend that you dual faction grind, typically 2 factions at a time, lock one of them, and then dual faction the other, or dual faction 2, lock the third. Either way, we talk about being positive with all 3 factions. As you can see, I am here. I'm 1 build locked with Romulan, working on my lock for Klingon, and then I'll go back and catch up on the Federation. But doing this meant that we couldn't auto grind, and the history of auto grinding in augment space, well, it's not always been great. In fact, I would love our veteran players to comment down below. When's the last time you auto grinded before the fix? Anyway, the reason we're making a big deal about this, we talked about this in live streams and everything. They fixed auto grinding to where now the hostiles won't despawn after a certain set period of time, especially in certain systems. So let's talk about auto grinding as a concept and why it's important. The first thing I'm going to show you is basic lat conversion, because the whole point of auto grinding is to save you latinum. Now you might think it's about saving you time. It's not about saving you time. It's about saving you latinum. So over on this side of the screen, you'll see, and maybe you've noticed it before, if you are trying to do like small amounts of ship XP, costs honestly not that bad. It's like, oh, okay, well, we'll do it this way. We'll go with this. But it's still kind of crazy. Now, it gets better the deeper into it you go. So as you can see in the first few levels, you've got like this really weird cattywampus where you're not spending a ton of lat, but you are still spending lat. And then you get to right at 11,000 and above, you're going to get 50 XP per latinum. And we can deal with that ratio. And that sounds fine until you remember, oh yeah, I need millions and millions and millions to get there. So for example, here's a tier 7 out of tier 12 Voyager, and I already need 2.5 million. As you can imagine, this scales up even more for these 4-star ships. So that means that tiers 10 through 12 are even more exponentially expensive. And they are, FYI, if you didn't know. In fact, go over to my, Monaveen, sure, but my pilot, you can see it's at 3.6 at tier 8. That's for scaling up. Just go ahead and give you a heads up. You're going to, what, 20, 30 million latinum in those last 3 tiers. So the point of auto grinding now, whether you're a new player or veteran player, is to save you latinum, not to save you time. If it saves you time, that's great. The whole aspect of auto grinding, why it's appealing, is you literally just set a ship out, leave it, and forget it. And as long as nobody with a red reticle or, a rogue player, etc., comes and hits you, then you can just sit here and grind these hostiles. Now, first off, where can you do said action? Well, that's pretty simple. If you want to actually go through this, one, you can do like I'm doing in augment space. Once you become allied with the augment faction, bounty hunters will chase you. Now, that might sound confusing, but how it's basically set up is if you are friendly with the augments, bounty hunters are going to come hunt you down. That's the whole premise. So the bounty hunters don't work for the augment, they're hunting the augment. So the more you're friendly with the augment, the more they're going to come after you, which it doesn't speed up the rate. They just come after you. But anyway, you see I have my Talios out here grinding right now. It actually just recently hit tier 7. So it's currently grinding out right over there so that I can get my Talios all leveled up. So fantastic, right? All right. So you can do it in augment space. Where else? You can actually do it in faction space. If you are negative rep with any faction, and this is mostly going to apply to newer players in the game. If you are negative rep, so let's say you're dual locking, Romulan and Feds, the Klingons hate you. So you go to Tygo Core to grind, but they still chase you. Well, you can leave ships out here and auto grind these hostiles. Those bounty hunters, those, war coalition ships, they'll spawn and they'll come after you, right? So the whole idea is we can save our latinum. Now, let's keep it moving. New content that just came in the game. We talk about the gilded pickle. Well, the gilded pickle has actually a built-in auto grinding function where it is very important to auto grind your pickle once you obtain it. For those watching this video September 2023, don't worry. October 2023 free-to-play path gets announced for the Gilded Pickle, aka the Monaveen. So you will want to kind of keep up to date and follow it. But this is going to be the main thing you do. Now, why are we doing this so much? Simple is, number one, these boxes. So inside the PvE boxes, when you are auto grinding this hostile, it's going to give you the active net chips, which you need to do for your Monaveen refinery every day, as well as the regular currency that you need. And there's two forms of grinding here. You have active grinding and auto grinding here for the pickle. You need to do both types to actually complete the field training. If you haven't taken a look at the field training yet, I didn't mean to make this video about the pickle, but just reminder, you need to auto grind, which is these right here, but also need to manually grind, which is this one right there. Anyway, random reminder. Now you can also do this with other ships besides the Gilded Pickle. And I will say that these pay out pretty good, you know, experience and such, but you're probably not going to mess with this because this is all designed for 4-star and above. So in terms of auto grinding, you get a lot of rep from faction hostiles if you haven't dual grind yourself in a positive with those sets. And you can obviously grind everywhere in terms of this space with the Texas class hostiles. Remember, it's in the cowboy hat. You can see any ship up here to do that, but you're probably going to stick to 4-star ships. And for lower level players, you can auto grind down here. So two places where everybody can auto grind. If you are a higher level player, it actually makes sense to auto grind up here in the Monaveen space because the ship XP payouts are pretty nice, and it allows you to work on some of those bigger ships by having these hostiles come and bother you. And again, you put any ship there. If I want to level up my Coronar, send the Corn out with a hostile crew and let it auto grind for those levels. And as long as somebody doesn't hit you, then they will continue to be there. Because again, this whole point is to make sure that you are aware that they've improved this, because for a long time it didn't work. You would auto grind, it would clock out, and it didn't matter anymore. But now it does. And now you can use this to save yourself a lot of latinum. And you might ask, well, Rev, you got 6 million latinum. What do you care? I have 6 million latinum because 1, away teams. Encourage everybody to do that. 2, you know, battle passes, things like that, parabellum events, etc. But you might look at that and go, oh my gosh, that's so much. Anybody that can comment down below can tell you, if they've been playing this game for a while, that's not a lot of latinum. There are people with several 100 million latinum and still run out. And what is one of the reasons they run out? Because they have to buy commons, they have to buy ship parts, and they have to buy ship XP to skip these grinds. So hence the premise of today's video. It is important to auto grind. Very important. Take advantage of it. Now that this mechanic is there, we talk about things that take too long in the game. Take advantage of some of these passive mechanics. Leave your warships out and let them auto grind overnight. It's what I say. Don't worry about doing it during the day. I'm doing it for the sake of this video, but my Gilded Pickle goes out every night. If it dies, it dies. If it doesn't, it doesn't. The whole point of the Gilded Pickle is to simply accrue rep, or I'm sorry, accrue the actual ship XP to then get the items I need for the refinery. And after that, doesn't even matter. And that's the same for all of them. A reminder, these are the two that you're trying to push into. So I do hope this video helps majority of y'all. We need to do another bad crew video. And if y'all have any videos that you specifically want to see, let me know. We do have that area in my Discord where I constantly review it. I also managed to acquire Star Trek Infinite in a pre-release form. So I'm going to start doing some reviews of that really soon. That launches October 12th. And yeah, that's about it, y'all. I was hoping this video would help many of you out, because I think a lot of people either have forgotten that this was a thing, or they don't even know that they can do it with a lot of the newer players that I run into on like 97, 101, 102, etc., etc. If you enjoyed the video, like it. Simple as that. Live long and plunder. Stay safe for the Space Cowboys. Deuces. That's me. Catch you on the next one. And I am, yeah, I'm wrapping it up. We're out. Yeah, it's over, right? It's time to be over. There's nothing else to really say, except I appreciate everybody that waited till this moment. Just know, thank you. I really do. People who spend 10 minutes watching a ginger with a washed out webcam talk about Star Trek Fleet Command is crazy, and it means a lot to me. So thank you.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.